Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the last video. Thanks for your likes and your subscribes, and some of your great comments are really interesting. This week we're going to be talking about how we do our fencing here, the materials we use, and how we get over the problem of putting a metal fence post through solid granite. And then maybe do a brief tour of most of the perimeter of the farm. Yeah, see how that goes. This stuff here is known locally as Maljasol. It's 3mm steel with 150mm or 6-inch centers, so you've got a 6-inch square basically. Comes in 2.4 meter lengths. So I've been cutting it in half to be 1.25, actually 2.5 meter lengths. So these come at 12, so that's the height of the fence, yeah? And they're in 100-meter rolls. We also bought a lot of these, which are 2x2, 50x50 angle iron, 5mm thick or 1/4 inch thick. And 6 meters long, about 20 foot. So I'm going to cut these to 2 meters long each. It'll give me 3 posts for every length. It works out with these roughly, or used to, because steel's gone up a lot in value. It works out to €5 per post. These are about €15 each. But here the post, we don't have enough rain, and it's very dry, so we have a low humidity. So basically the posts are good for, I'd say, 20-25 years. The same as the Maljasol here. This stuff, it's got a surface rust on it that'll never get any worse. I've seen stuff here that's been up for 30 years and it looks exactly the same as this. So these here I've marked for cutting for the full height of what we're making our fence post 1.4 out of the ground. I've got to weld a piece into these because they're going into solid granite, so I'll cut them and then I'll show you the process.
Tenho esse mar todo pra olhar. Tenho as estrelas infinitas.
trying to weld out a camera shot at arm's length isn't the easiest. So here we are, now joined by my beautiful wife, and we're going to start putting in some of those fence posts that you saw us creating just now. This does look a little awkward, but once they get further down in the ground they're easier. I know everyone's going to say I should have a post rammer, etc, etc, but I have yet to make one. I have the materials now, I just need to weld stuff together and get one made, but it's having the time as well, bit of a problem.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends, this being more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars.
So, the reason for welding the rebar on the bottom of these posts is this, just below the surface here, is granite. And here, what I'm doing now, drilling for these. Hopefully. Hammer. And what I'll do is put a stay down to the granite there and there, because it's always going to be wobbly. It's a tiny little pin. Okay. Right. And this is the wilderness of the other side of the lake, or the pond. And this is the fencing we've been putting up. So this is what we call malleus sole. So it's 3mm steel, as you can see. This is the fencing we put up around the perimeter of the north side of the farm. As you can see from the inside, the wall is fairly low, so it's easy for dogs and other animals, foxes, etc. to jump in or out. So what we've done is put longer posts in and then the short fence on top. So it does a very good job of keeping most things out. Plus this area here is the area where Max lives at the moment, which will be extended to give him about 3 acres of ground to move around in. This is the area from last week's video where I put in the new posts and finished off the new bit of wall. I've just got a couple more posts to put in. This one beside the water meter there I have to concrete in, and there's another one to go just past this pine tree. This is a processionary pine caterpillar trap that I put up. It should have a little grey pipe and a plastic sack underneath to catch all the caterpillars. Does a very good job. So from here, this is where we were working earlier. This is where I drove the Mini to go and cleared the ground through, because to the left and the right are these massive boulders. So this was the clearest area to put the fence through. The fence is only realistically to keep in stock. We're eventually going to have possibly sheep and goats and some geese, maybe a pig or two. But so this is basically stock fencing to keep stock in, to keep Max in, and to keep other dogs out. At the moment it's doing a very good job. So there's a quick view of the pins and the posts that I've drilled into the granite, and then the fencing is going to come up to this pine tree and then turn nearly 90 degrees to the right. So here I'll take you for a little trip along the edge of the
place to get a fence line down.
Years ago there was a
livestock
big
purposes.
concrete wall, as you can see here, not concrete, granite wall built along here out of the local stones, the boulders that were in place, etc. But it's been pushed down for some reason. We probably suspect it's the land we own. We have another 2 hectares the other side of this, but that's yet to be discovered. So where the big boulders are on the right is our perimeter, and the land I'm walking through is again the clearest path I could get to put a fence through to keep in livestock basically, and to keep predators out. So we have a few big boulders that I may need to stand back up. Don't know how I'm going to do that one. And then it just carries on for another 1.5 kilometers. Just about a mile-ish. Yeah, a lot of fencing. So I didn't want to bore you with the complete tour, so what I've done is just shortened it into small sections of where things are a little more interesting. Thread the fence line between all these cork oaks here, because in Portugal it is illegal to cut down a cork oak whether it's alive or dead. The only way you can cut one down if you have to apply to the local council, tell them the reason you need it cutting down or you want to cut it down, and they'll come, probably send a guy around and say yes or no. Obviously a lot of water used to run down here and through there. I need to rebuild this over the years. The wall, not the bridge. This is the area I dug. First time I've seen it filled with water. Well, that's pleasing to know. So, like I said in the previous video, this is where I want to put the wall, the pond, for the big pond. So this is, come here, come here. This is the edge of the land. Here's a quick shot of Gilly and Quinn with the lovely Max, our guard dog. They don't associate with each other because Max is doing his job, and Gilly and Quinn are pets. So, here we are at Ewan and Carissa's place. They've been here a year today, so we're having a little bit of a get together with the guys, and as a present I brought them 2 buckets of waterproof mortar mix, because I'm going to, while I'm here, put their flashing against the side of the house, as you do. So there we go, that's the flashing fitted and cemented up to the pointing. Should keep them waterproof now. Now, join the ladies, have a beer. Here we are back at our friend's farm, and this wall I've completed now. It's a wall that Theo helped me start to build. So that's the retaining wall there done. And now I've got the tractor. I'm going to go and pick up something I've been meaning to get for ages. So here it is, about 200 kilos of really dense granite. Guess what I'm going to use that for? Here we are back at home with our tiny little present. A little lump of granite. Might put something down here to protect it. Okay. Quite heavy. Oh. Oh, this will be my new anvil. Nice solid granite, just like the Vikings or the Celts. Okay, today we're here with Cindy Vine and Julian, and I'm just going to give her a quick pointer on pointing. She's got a few bits left to finish, and she's worried about these small stones trying to point. Sorry, where am I? These small stones trying to point around them. Well, I've just suggested take them out, and then you can point that area, and then if you've got a big gap and you don't like the look of it, you just push a stone back in. I'll show you quickly. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so just clearing out the excess, the old mortar, which was probably lime and a bit of mud, I think, and all sorts of stuff. So like places like here, sometimes it's difficult to tell what's granite and what's mortar, do you know what I mean? But that's here, look. Get it something dug out, so it's fairly, you can imagine that's the surface, so you've got a fair depth of mortar going on there, yeah? And then as with everything, make sure you wet the joint or nothing will stick to anything. You need the mortar to adhere to where you're putting it. Basically make a little sausage like so, not Mr. Hanky. For you, Cindy, this would be an easier way of doing it, yeah?
Yeah, that's
Poke it in
basically
the holes, yeah?
that's what I was doing, but on a smaller version because I didn't take the small stones out.
Yeah, so like here where we've taken that stone out, there's a lot of mortar to go in there, yeah? Then rub your finger over it, like so. Go over it, I don't know how deep you know, it's whatever you prefer.
Oh, I don't mind if the
You want
rocks.
it out to this surface so you have a huge area of mortar.
Yeah, I don't mind if it goes in like that.
Yeah,
but I
so
quite
a
like it
little
like
bit more in
that.
there. And these little bits, just basically pushing it into the joints, yeah. And then if you just rub your gloved finger over it,
Yeah,
there's your finish, yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, and then when you've got where you've got a big area like this, which is quite deep with mortar, just put that there. There are many ways of doing it. You can, one of the stones we took out earlier, making a smaller one there, and you can just put the stone back in, like so. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that looks quite nice.
If your area, if you think it's too big of a mortar area, yeah,
Yeah.
you can just push a stone back in. Because this pointing isn't structural; it's just for looks.
Yeah.
And then we just finish it off with your finger. Maybe later on when it's drier, you can brush it off. I wouldn't necessarily put water on that now,
Yeah.
because the water washes the surface off and it makes it a lot lighter. So you have a hard job to keep the colour the same everywhere. But as you can see, you can just keep doing that. And you know, when it gets a bit dry, you can like have a brush, a dry brush, and just clean off all these. I'll take my glove off from here. Then you clean off all these fluffy bits, and it will look more like like that. Yeah.
So you see, like my fluffy bit. Someone suggested I use a wire brush on it.
Yeah, you're much better off doing it when it's wet.
Okay.
Because again, with a wire brush, especially if you've got sand and cement, like it's quite hard to remove.
Yeah. But I think when I paint it over with the PVA sort of that you know, like the glue water solution to seal it, I think that will make it
a bit weak. This stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weak mixture of it. So again, just get your mortar to this consistency.
Yeah.
Make a little sausage. And basically just push it in the holes.
Yeah. I found that it was like the pointing key for me was too difficult.
Yeah, I mean for you, do it by hand.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you get the desired effect at the end. A very narrow bit here to do, isn't it?
Yeah. It's quite relaxing, but it's quite time consuming.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. And then with the brush, when it's a bit drier, you can clean up the bits that are actually on the stone where you don't want it. You know what I mean? Like here. There.
Oh, that looks good.
And then
expert.
I'm just showing you like afterwards when it's drier, you'll be able to brush all these like fluffy bits off, if you know what I mean. Like here,
yeah.
With a stiffer brush, and then you'll have sort of that effect.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
You see, like I've got to still like my electrics. That's how it's been set up. So I've got to.
Yeah. Do you need some help with that?
I need help. I need help with that because, someone came to help, and this is what they did.
What are you doing? What are you doing? We got Cindy working on assembling the brackets, doing a great job, and I'm just gonna. Now we've got most of the trim on. Just gonna go and start fitting the guttering. So there we go. All the brackets on for the guttering. Oh, fell over.
Poor Nick kicked the bucket.
Yeah, we've bent these specially because screwing to the tin roof isn't an option. So, and then the other brackets we've screwed through the double layer of the insulated panels here. But I've made an extra hole here to take the weight of the gutter full of rain basically. So I put an extra hole here because it had 3 back there. So they're all up now. And again, it's a beautiful day. So there we go, gutter fitted and working.
Very good.
So that's it for this week, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, being December, we've decided to try and do the fire behind me. We decided to try and do 2 videos a week for the month of December. So we've had some requests to do that, so we're going to try and do it. A lot going on next week in the garden, so please join us and see you then. Bye.